All right. All right. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the group chat. uh, um, uh, with Dave T. Call me whatever. Just don't call me. I don't know. Someone called me Josh. I remember my old coworker. He came in. He's like, "Oh, Shredder," and I'm like, "Oh, hey, Young," and he's like, what's your name? I'm like, David. He's like, I thought your name was Josh. Like no, what? But anyway,
I like how
yeah.
he thought the Shredder's name was like something like, oh, order for a double frappuccino for Josh. Like, the Shredder doesn't have a bitch-ass name like Josh.
Yo, that'd be terrible if like Shredder's name was actually like Kevin.
Exactly, right? Fear me, turtles. It is I, Kevin. Like,
oh, oh shoot, Shreddy's here, guys. Oh wait, you mean Kevin? Oh, he flunked out of community college. Dumb bitch. Like, guys, come on. I'm the Shredder. Anyway. So welcome back to the group chat with your hosts, Dave and my boy Stefen.
Good to see you guys again. We got another action-packed episode in store for you. Dave, you want to tell them who the matchup is this week?
Of course. So, in this corner, I know why I'm doing it with my fists every time. I'm like, this corner. Who do you Godzilla versus Optimus? Yeah. This corner, we got the green tunic. We got the hero of time. Green tunic? What? We got the boy wonder. We got Link from The Legend of Zelda.
The weakest Link.
I don't know. He's one of many. So
it's possible.
And you didn't even know which one. You didn't even know which one.
You're right.
Anyway, we got Link from The Legend of Zelda, and over here we got the silent but deadly. We got the kimono robed. Does he wear kimono? Or
so it's like the sandal wearing, katana swearing, man bun styled Samurai Jack.
That's right, Samurai Jack. So, thoughts, opinions, statements. What do you have to say right off the bat?
Right off the bat, man, I think.
Fuck you.
there you go. That's it. That's how you start a fight, right there. That's it. I know Link. Fuck it, man. Link's a child. Samurai Jack is a man. He's a 25-year-old man who has trained literally across the globe in various skills to defeat the Lord of Evil who controls time. Fucking Ganondorf originally was a pig. Like,
Ganondorf, yeah, he's a feral hog. 30 to 50 of them. Then
it's basic pig math. You get enough of them, it makes a man.
Okay. So he has to fight a shape-shifting demon. Big whoop. Link fights a shape-shifting demon. Granted, he only shapeshifts into a giant pig, but that pig is still goddamn terrifying. But cool, but terrifying. Yeah, so this week I chose Link from Ocarina of Time, one of my favorite games. I feel like a running theme of this podcast is we pick people and like I've never actually finished said medium that they're from. Like I never saw I never saw the final Star Wars film. I got as far at so I never played Ocarina of Time, which is what this Link that for this week where it comes from. I never finished that game. I never actually got to play it as a child, but then when Nintendo did as if it's like a limited thing. When they started doing 3DSs, they released Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on 3DS. That was like one of the first games that I bought. Actually, I'm lying. First game that I bought before I even got a 3DS was Pokemon Heart Gold because I love that game. I completed that game.
That's what's up. Okay, fair enough.
You're like, he's got one.
Yo, man, there's more than one badge to get in that game.
That's right. Like, oh shoot, I got one. That's it. You mean there are 15 more? But yeah, so I got Ocarina of Time for the 3DS, and then I got as far as like the Shadow Temple, I think, and then I just stopped. I don't know why I just stopped. And now I don't even have that game anymore because I sold literally everything to get my Switch. Not everything. I clearly have clothes, but I mean like I gave him the shirt off my back. Sir, we don't take clothes.
You beat him in a bum fight in back of GameStop. You won, so you got their clothes.
Exactly.
But you played Link in Smash Bros.
Yeah. And I've seen it like as a kid, so like I get the gist of what happens, like yeah. Also I have the big Hyrule Historia, like the whole Zelda timeline thing, where for many years fans were like, oh, where does this game fit? This goes here, da da da, and then Nintendo was like, guys, like chill, and like Miyamoto was like, here's what happens, shut your fucking butts, like here's what goes on, and then they printed out an official timeline of where everything kind of fits. But this was a difficult choice, I guess. I was contemplating doing Breath of the Wild Link because that game is fantastic. Haven't finished it yet. I'm literally in the process of it, but you could sink like 200 hours just climbing trees, doing like all sorts of crap. And there's so much stuff to find and collect and just discover, and like that game is beautiful. So if Nintendo ever listens to this, bravo, good job. I love Breath of the Wild. Thank you. Keep innovating. I'm gonna pick up Hyrule Warriors, the prequel that comes out. Some promotion for Nintendo. Please sponsor us. Give us money. Anyway, between Breath of the Wild Link or Ocarina of Time Link, I'm like, I know more about Ocarina of Time Link. He's gonna fuck Samurai Jack up.
That's a blatant lie, and you shouldn't do that to people. So, Samurai Jack, I think, is something that you and I have both watched growing up.
Oh, hell yeah, I love Samurai Jack.
So it's a show my brother and me were really into. In fact, my brother Sam, he got our dad into watching Samurai Jack to the point where like season 5 would come out and he would call him up and be like, yo, did you see last night's episode? Like, just like to what happened? So Samurai Jack's a pretty big deal. But,
awesome.
I have finished all the seasons of Samurai Jack. By no means does that mean I know everything there is to know about him. But I do know that he has a very strict code of honor, right? His whole arc is trying to remedy something that his father didn't do, right? So it takes place in like the Edo era of Japan. And his dad puts Aku away, seals him away. But then when Jack is a baby, but then 8 years later, a solar eclipse somehow lets Aku be free, and then
Jack had to fight this thing when he was 8 years old. That's a child. Which brings me to one of my points. You were like, Jack is we were talking in pre-production. That you're like, Jack's a man, he could kick Link's ass. Link is a child. There are two versions of Link, my bitch. There is child Link, and then there's adult Link. So
which one are you talking about, though?
Well, I'm talking technically about adult Link,
Ocarina of Time Link.
Yeah, Ocarina of so with Ocarina of Time, you start as a kid. Okay. Link starts as a kid. He grows up in he grows up in I can't even pronounce it. Hold on. Kokiri Forest. There we go. Because I'm like, it's with the forest people. So he grows up there. He was raised by the Dooku tree. Yes, his father is a tree. Adoptive.
Yo, man, the Giving Tree was like, you don't have a dad, I'll be your dad.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, until he's paper.
Yep. But anyway, Link, grows up in the village, I'm doing the Spark Notes version, gets summoned to the castle, meets the princess. Ganondorf, the king of the Greedo people, comes to the castle. They're like, fuck that guy, that guy's bad. To stop him from taking over, Zelda sends Link to go gather these sacred stones or something like that. He gathers them. Ganondorf's like, ha, thanks, bitch. I'm gonna kidnap the princess or whatever, and seal you in the Temple of Time, because that's where the Triforce is, and the Triforce is like this magical. If you collect all three pieces of it, it grants you with like an incredible power. There are three pieces: Triforce of power, wisdom, and courage. And Ganondorf, the main antagonist, so throughout the whole series, he has the Triforce of power. Normally, Zelda has the Triforce of wisdom, and Link, being the hero of the story, has the Triforce of courage. But anyway, Link is trapped in the Temple of Time for around 7 years. So when he awakens, he is an adult, and then that way, he can be the hero of time that they need. They had to age him up. They're like, we can't send this little boy to fight this guy, like literally this like 7-foot man.
Yeah,
he will die.
But like you're saying, he just woke up. So Jack obviously didn't fight him being 8, but his mom sent him to train. Like, look at this, right? He sent around the globe to learn all these skills to fight Aku, to save his dad from Aku. So while Link is sleeping and time passes by and all his loved ones die, Jack is learning how to ride horses in Arabia, fighting with a staff in the African bush. He's being educated by Egyptians. He's learning wrestling in Greece. He learned how to use a bow and arrow from Robin Hood, how to use a boat from Vikings, how to fight on horses with Mongolians, and axe throwing in Russia, and then discipline in martial arts from Shaolin Temple. And then he's got a sword like given to his dad by the gods. He'd go back in time and just stab Link while he's sleeping. And then Navi would be like, hey, listen. Hey, you're dead.
Okay. Well, hey, listen. So, Link, so you might say, oh, like he's a kid. He wasn't a helpless kid, man. He had a sword. He had a shield, dude. Even when he was a kid, he was doing all sorts of crazy shit. So, remember when I said, he had to go and find those, the stones or whatever? That was when he was a kid. He had to go. So he had to climb Death Mountain.
Pick up a rock.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, that rock.
What? But Death Mountain, like that's you don't call something Death Mountain because it's easy or because it's safe. I gotta stop with the air quotes today. I don't know if I'm air quote heavy. But he had to go and do all sorts of crazy stuff as a kid. He has fire arrows. He has what the fuck does he have? He has like that sword. He traversed dungeons and all sorts of stuff. He, after going to Death Mountain to get whatever the hell it was, Death Mountain is incredibly dangerous. It's home to the Goron people. He had to go to Zoro's domain, and it's a giant lake full of the Ruto people, and get that gem thing or whatever. He's fought tons of different like bosses and mini bosses in those dungeons and whatnot. So like, to be a kid going off and fighting all these monsters, these huge scary monsters all by yourself with nothing but a swords and fire arrows and what yada yada. Like he's an acrobatic kid. I shouldn't acrobatic. Like what does he do? Gymnastics?
He could. He rolls.
Like That's true. That's true.
Sounds like
You know,
irresponsible parenting on that tree's part.
what do you want from him? It was just a treat.
He has branches he
He can
could
only
wrap.
do so much. His mom died. Um, so Link is very skilled. I think Kid Link could definitely hold his own against the Samurai Jack as a kid, for sure.
I don't know, man. I think Jack would be like, "Nope, you're a kid," and just walk away. Like you ain't nothing. Like you're
Well,
saying,
I'm talking about like as a kid, you know.
yeah, Samurai Jack would just be like, come back to me when you're like old enough, like when you're
No,
ready."
I'm talking about like you were saying. Oh, Samurai Jack as. Oh wait, no, I think I understand what you're saying. Never mind. Okay, whatever.
Oh, you're talking about like if they're both children?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
kids.
okay,
Yes.
okay. I mean, maybe. You know, they both got like you're saying, training and they've done something. You know, but like Link has no formal training, as my sources tell me. He's just learning on the fly. Where Samurai Jack is being taught by like
Okay.
masters of their like trade, masters of their environment
So
for
so
one mission.
Link. So the thing is though is like Link, he comes from a long line of links. Get it?
Yeah, but you picked the weakest one.
Laugh, it's fun. No. So he comes from a long line of links. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but
You
um
won't follow the chain. Ha
no,
ha.
I won't follow the chain. But he's not that he's reincarnated. Fuck with these air quotes, God. Not that he's like reincarnated per se, but with every game, it's a different link based on where whatever happens in the timeline. Hey, Sammy. For those who can't. Oh no, I didn't say he's serious. Shut up. Out of here.
That dude who left,
She's like,
that's
oh,
Sam. He's
wasn't.
the man. Anyway, keep going. So you're not gonna get too far into Link, but like he reincarnates himself in each game based on what, bud?
So not reincarnates, but based on like the timeline, there are different links that appear throughout history. And anyone, thank you to our listeners, by the way. To all who are listening and watching, if I say something that's incorrect, please correct me. Just be nice about it. Um, but I guess what I'm saying is that those skills are transferable all the way from the first link, which was started with Skyward Sword, all the way through Ocarina of Time, and all the other games, Link's Awakening, Link to the Past, whatever. Which I think I'm getting the timeline mixed up. But transferable skills. Natural born hero. He's the hero of time.
Samurai Jack's the hero of time. He goes to the future to save the past, man. Like
Yeah. Link goes to the
theoretically,
future too. Link goes to the future too. He goes into the sacred temple. He after collecting all the stones, he gets to open the temple. And he finds the Master Sword. He goes to pull the Master Sword out of the pedestal, and he gets frozen in time to age him up, so then he can be of age to wield the Master Sword. Which you were like, he has a sword that's passed down from the gods. The Master Sword is a sword. Excuse me, passed down from the gods, from the goddess Hylia herself.
whatever he wants to be.
Exactly. Um,
But he didn't go through time. He literally time went around him. Samurai Jack was put in another like timetable where people are in space and a whole bunch of crazy nonsense, and he has
I remember
to
the show.
adapt and survive as things occur. Link didn't have to do
Okay.
anything but age up, and he slept. That's lazy. There's no work in that.
Okay, but think about this. Like you said, oh, he slept while all of his friends died. Yeah, sure. But like, that's actually the plot of Breath of the Wild. Spoilers.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, for sure. Different Link, but yeah, no, very very sad. And dude, like, oh, this game, it kills me. Like, you get like flashbacks and this and that of like all the champions. We're talking about Breath of the Wild for those who are listening who can't necessarily follow it because I talk I talk like a moth. Like my conversation goes from like one point, like a moth trying to follow the light, like it circles back, it goes here and there, and then eventually it gets to where it's going. But like, it's a roller coaster. Anyway, side detour. Breath of the Wild is a beautiful game. Link dies, but like whatever, he gets put in like some chamber to rest up, to heal from his injuries after the Great Calamity. All of his friends and allies, they're all dead because Ganon wins. Technically, like you start the game and you have like crap health, you have amnesia, and technically Ganon's like won. Not really, but like he kind of won, because all the champions are dead. Hyrule is like an overgrown field, But anyway, same kind of difference with Samurai Jack and Link from Ocarina of Time, because Link had to adapt to his surroundings. You think he woke up and Hyrule was still the same? You think it was just peachy keen? Everyone's, oh, hey Zelda, what's up? What's going on? I've just been stuck in stasis for 7 years. Everything's fine, right? No, Ganondorf took over. What do you think was happening when he was there? Oh, hey, since there's no hero to stop me, I'm gonna just do what I want. No one's here to stop me.
Yeah, but he didn't even try. He just went to bed. Samurai Jack at least tried.
He didn't voluntarily. You're thinking he's like, oh, well, you know what? I can spare some time.
Yeah.
No, that's not what happened.
He needs an age limit to wield a sword. What a sissy. It's like you can't even lift the sword to do your job, man.
He was a kid. Anyway.
That's not an excuse.
Buy a sword, go give it to your sister, and see how well she does. I'll buy a sword. I'll give it to my niece. I'll be like, hey, have fun with this. Can you lift it? Well, actually, no. My nieces, they're a lot stronger than me. So
yeah, like I'll be dead if you give Lucia a sword. I won't be here next week. It'll be good.
No, that's true. Next time you're babysitting, it's like, oh, Dave, yeah, there was a situation. Like, she cut off my arm. Like, why did I give her a sword?
But, like, I mean, okay, perhaps he had to mature a little bit with the sword. I got you. I'm simply suggesting, like, instead of training, right, with the sword to get better, they were just like, you know what'll solve that? Plot point. He just goes to bed instead.
He had training, like I said. He had a sword prior to going asleep.
Yeah, but he didn't have...
being frozen.
He didn't have
the Master Sword.
That's what I'm saying, though. He didn't have the Master Sword to practice with, to train with.
What difference is... It's just a bit more powerful of an upgrade.
You were like, it's the Sword of the Gods. It's amazing. So if it is amazing, you should learn how to wield it like Thor, right? Thor couldn't wield Mimir, or whatever that hammer's name is, until yeah, there you go. Good pronunciation. Right? He couldn't wield it till, like, the hammer believed he was worthy. And then, like, he went on...
But Thor's not a sissy. You're like...
Thor is a sissy. Fucking... He was whining and complaining about it, and then, like, in the end, he got the hammer.
Thor complains so much.
In the end, he got the hammer, but, like, instead of, like, yo, I need to be a better dude, like, it took him, like, I don't know, he didn't train enough to get that. He had to lose a lot. So, like...
Well, that's Thor. Different circumstance. Link doesn't talk. He goes... I'm not going to do the sound effects, but if you play the game, he doesn't talk. It'd be weird if Link talked. Anyway, I stand firm on my point. He was frozen kind of against his will. He just took the sword. He was a kid. Listen. He was a kid when he took the sword out of the pedestal, and that reaction, that's what froze him. So he was able to wield the sword as a kid. He was like, what? Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Okay, I'm stuck. So that's what froze him. Because, like, the sages, they were like, again, we can't send that's child abuse. We can't send a little boy to fight a demon king who turns into a giant pig monster. Someone's going to come and, get on our asses about this. We can't have this happen.
Okay, all right. So I guess
Anyway, they both time travel. Link after that, I've been talking too much. So what about your samurai?
Oh, what about my Samurai? No, man, Samurai Jack. Time has lost effect on Jack due to him being like he goes in the fight. He's 25 years old by the time, theoretically, age-wise, right? He is 75 by the time he gets back to his present time. Which he just picks up in his body man. Again. Right, but for an old-ass man.
So, like, why in the ending...
Like, he's still throwing down, man. He's still adapting and doing all MacGyver stuff to make sure he gets where he's got to go. You know what I mean? So, like, in a sense, they're more in common, I feel, than different. They, like you said, they both time travel. They do. I don't know if Link actually like loves Zelda, but Jack finds love. Turns out, spoiler, she's Aku's daughter. But they can never really ultimately be together.
Okay, so Well, yeah, because if he defeats Aku, like it
right.
was like a paradox, if he if he defeats Aku, so yes, he does find love. They didn't love each other at first. She tried to kill him.
He was into that,
and then yeah, ooh, that's why I was on Adult Swim the last season.
Exactly, they're like, we know what this generation likes.
Yeah, right. So that was the whole paradox, and man, that ending that got me. But for real though, if he went back to his actually, it would have been an age reversal if he got sent back to his time. I think, But anyway. Yeah, they are fairly similar. They are definitely fairly similar. I think that Link would definitely have the edge because he's had, his past lives. Because, granted, like with every game, for the most part, it's a new Link, except for like the Wind Waker series. Like, there's the Wind Waker, it's that Wind Waker Link, and then like what, Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass. That I think is like the same Link. But otherwise, the different links. Oh, what I failed to mention was, so Link also has, so after the whole event of Ocarina of Time, Zelda sends him back back in time so he could relive his childhood. So get back the time that he's lost, kind of like Jack.
In a sense, absolutely.
But this is where Majora's Mask comes in. So,
wait, but that's a different dude altogether. We're talking about.
No, it's not.
Said
it's the same. It's the same. It's the same Link.
Okay.
It's the same Link.
All right, man.
I know. Okay, I know what I said. I said minus Wind Waker, but I looked into it, and it is actually the same Link. It's like a sequel-ish to Ocarina of Time. They both games go hand in hand. But as a kid,
it's like Godfather, Godfather 2. They're just they're there. Okay, sorry. As a kid, you were saying as a kid.
He goes, and I never actually played Majora's Mask. But he, his fairy.
Hey, listen.
From Ocarina of Time flies off, and then he goes looking for it, and then he gets transported to like this other place called Termina, and then he ends up fighting the Skull Kid, who's wearing Majora's Mask, which is a mask which I never understood as a kid. I was like, "What's Majora's Mask?" And they're like, "It's just a mask." And I'm like, "But is it like a thing?" And they're like, "No, it's just a mask." And I'm like, "But how this and that?" They're like, It's just a mask. I was a dense child as a kid. So I'm a dense adult, so not much has changed. But anyway, he has to save the town from the moon that's going to crash into this town in 3 days unless he like changes something. I don't know. But anyway, he has additional experience.
That's a separate game altogether.
But it's the same Link.
But we're talking about Link in this specific game.
Yeah, that's true. But again, I think he would have the edge over Jack because of the past Link's.
I
He's the
will.
hero time, gone through time. Time has blessed him with skills from the other games. Yada yada, whatever.
Who's the dude who made this game?
Shigeru Miyamoto.
All right, Mr. Miyamoto, if you're alive or whomever is
He's
the
alive.
forefront. All right, I don't know how old he is. He's the foremost on Link. Like, is that applicable? Perhaps. I will give it to you. Like, if that's the route we're going with this, like, oh, he has like prior experiences from all the other iterations of him in like the scheme of this history. Sure, yeah, he has
Again,
more.
people can correct me if I'm wrong.
For sure. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
That's probably a junk call.
But like, if we're going that way, then yes, absolutely, Link has way more battle experience than Jack does. No doubt about it. Also, but like, Jack has been a warrior prince since he was born, right? Trying to save his father. All his training was to save his father, and he's been literally through hell and back, right? Through times he has no idea what's what about, had to adapt, had to make do, had to get allies and save various people on his journey. I think ultimately he's probably more passive than Link in terms of like violence and fighting. But
yeah, Jack doesn't break into people's house and starts breaking their pottery and shit. So.
Exactly, he's not about that,
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, Link might have a little edge, but like Season 5 Jack, I don't think by then he gives like two flips about who he's got to cut down.
Season 5 Jack is a badass.
Yeah, like he's all grizzled and shit. Like
yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think he'd kill a kid.
Well, actually, okay. Even though in like the early, like the first 4 seasons, he speaks, but like very little. Like he might like say a word an episode, maybe not. Which I thought honestly, Gendy Travasky, I thought like that, like brilliant. I mean, I know that there's I just like the style that that the episodes are.
No, absolutely. Cool. His new show Primal is dope as well.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Have you?
Yeah. No, it's really good. It's really good. It's supposed to be coming back. So yeah, okay. I guess in that regard, I think he probably has more experience. But you're talking like Kid Link, who goes on some fun playtime adventures.
Not playtime adventures, man. He's trying to get some sacred orbs and shit.
Yeah, like he's got to go to the toy chest and get some shit that his friend left or whatever. Season 5 Jack would kill that kid and wouldn't think twice about it.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But if you're going adult Link, who had multiple iterations, like who've already done cool stuff, give him like prior knowledge.
So here's the thing. I know like. Link, he also, he fought Ganondorf. Ganondorf is like a giant, who also has gone through time, who's also incredibly strong.
Who's also a pig.
Yeah, but like he's not like a I'm gonna cook you up. You look like ham, boy. Like it's not like that kind of pig. He's like a demon king. He's the demon king. He is like Link also, throughout the ages, like descendants and whatnot, of like this evil incarnate. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So Ganondorf is really strong, and pig in his pig form, in his demon form, in his demon form, he's called Ganon, but. Ganon is incredibly. He's like a huge ass. Like he's got these horns, like these, like some swords and shit. He can breathe fire, all sorts of crazy stuff. He's absolutely huge. But Link, he doesn't just have the Master Sword at his disposal. He has light arrows, which are capable of, diffusing any sort of evil and whatever. He has multitudes of bombs. He has a boomerang. He has just a bunch of weapons in his arsenal, and he's very versatile. Jack has a sword.
Yeah, and like whatever else he needs to MacGyver to get the job done, man.
Jack has a sword.
Yeah,
He has a sword.
He has.
That's his
That's
main
all
weapon.
he needs.
He has a sword. Link is a tradesman. He has all sorts of weapons at his disposal.
Yeah, because he's not skilled in any of them. It's just like,
no,
this'll do.
He is skilled in them. He is a master marksman. You were like, oh, Link, he does know how to ride a horse. He has his horse, Eponia, that he rides across Hyrule Field. Legolas all sorts of,
Legolas all sorts. All right, let me hit you with this. This has nothing to do with them fighting, but just like, what if the game, right? You're like pigs, Ganondorf. Hear me out, right? This is a horror movie based on like the idea of like someone fears Ganondorf arriving and like is terrorizing farmers and going around and murdering pigs and carving like the tribe.
Give me pigs. He's coming. The pig's coming.
It's right.
Like.
So he carves like the Triforce in the pig. That's like his sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be crazy. That would definitely be crazy.
Yeah.
He's coming. The second coming of Ganon.
Oh, man.
Lock up your pigs at night.
Lock up your pigs. Hide your wife. Hide your pigs.
Scary stuff.
It is, man. It is.
All
right. So perhaps, if Link had the skills of all the other Links, he'd have a shot. However, Kid Link, I don't care how good he is, Jack would just stab him and he would die.
Again, Link, he's got sword skills even as a kid. I think Link's got it. Even if he didn't have past Links to help, dude, he's got skills. So after leaving the Temple of Light, he has to go and find the 7 sages. That's 7 different temples the guy has to go through, including the Water Temple, which is the hardest one. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, when I played the game, I've heard horror stories about the Water Temple, so I had to look up a guide on how to do it. So,
So you're telling me he can't swim? Your hero can't even swim right?
I'm talking about myself, dumbass. I'm talking about myself. I looked up guides to the Water Temple. Link's fine. He
Apparently
can do it.
Not. If it was such a horror show, can't even go into a temple.
I'm talking about myself.
Yeah, but you're playing Link. You're playing as him. Therefore, you are him in that moment. Therefore, Link can't swim.
No, he can swim. He definitely can swim.
Mm-hmm. Samurai Jack can swim. He can also run and do all the other things that are necessary.
Link can run.
And he's just as skilled. Some tree, cut down that fucking tree, then he won't have a... I mean, I don't know. In the scheme of things, I feel like... I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Jack would stab him. That's what would happen. He'd be like, you ain't nothing, kid. I'm out. And then Link would get all angsty like the kids are and try and fight him. And then Jack would be like, okay, this is the path you've chosen.
I disagree. I think Link would definitely have this one in the bag.
Well, I guess we were at a standstill as far as this goes. However, I do think if they joined forces, that would be pretty dope.
That hey, they're both silent protagonists. Link doesn't talk, so
but like you've said prior, like their whole story arcs are similar, their villains are similar to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent.
So it is pretty cool. I'm sure the basis of Samurai Jack in some way comes from aspects of Link.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I don't know. I still think Link would win.
I admire that. That's very good. I like that, man.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, I gotta stand strong. Gotta back up my point. I can't just be, So anyway,
can't be fooled.
I don't know, but for those of you watching, if you're watching on YouTube or whatever, and for those who are listening on whatever medium you listen to podcasts or whatever, what do you think? Let us know. Let us know who you think wins. If it's if Samurai Jack would trash Link, or would Or do you know, like, do you think Link would definitely have this one in the bag? Which again, I think he does. I think yeah, he's got it. Fuck Samurai Jack. No, I'm kidding.
Just tell Link to listen to that fairy, because he's
Yeah.
gonna lose.
But all right.
In any case, this has been another thrilling adventure of the group chat.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. You like froze and then it cut out for a second. But did you don't make any fast movements?
Oh, my bad.
No, it's all good. But like you said, yeah, this has been another thrilling installment of group chat. Thank you for listening and watching. We'll see you next week.